Seeing that? Is that live?
Hey guys, welcome to the live stream. John, I see you in the backstage, so hold on just a bit. I'll get to you in just a moment. Welcome to the stream, guys. Good morning, good evening. Thank you so much for joining me. As you may have noticed, I've got a bit of a hoarse voice. That's because I came down with a bit of a throat infection in the past 48 hours. and that caused us to delay this live stream that was meant to be 24 hours ago, postponed till today. But yeah, so I'm still feeling a bit of the effects, but getting better than yesterday, of course. Otherwise, I couldn't actually do the live stream. Well, today we got an action-packed stream for everyone, and I hope, first of all, can you guys hear me okay? If you can hear me okay, give me a one in the comment section. All right, give me a one if you're hearing me okay. Give me a two if you're seeing me okay. All right, so we need to see a 1 2 there. All right, let's do a 1 2 1 2. Okay. In the meantime, John, I'll be putting you up on the stream in just a little bit. I will need you to ensure that you close all your tabs that has the Facebook or the YouTube of this video stream running. Close it first. Make sure it's all closed. Make sure you're only hearing us here on StreamYard, and we'll be able to get you on. Otherwise, we'll have a ton of echo, right? It's going to be insane. I'd like to thank Michael Canova, who's in the background with us this evening. He's helping us with the controls. So as and when we have questions in the comment section that Michael sees, he'll put it up to get my attention. In the meantime, I will obviously present this live stream. So without further ado, I'm going to bring John onto the stream. All right. And hey, John, can you hear me?
Hey, yes, I can hear you. Can you hear
Hey,
me?
John. Yeah, we can hear you. I'm
Right
good.
on
I'm
up.
good. So, John, why don't you introduce yourself to the audience first of all? All right. Go ahead.
Hello, my name's John. I go by Tech. I usually I'm run and operate tfprototype.com. I work with various companies to try and review or showcase their products. We're sponsored by Agabus.com, who hosted BotCon 2022 this year. Want to throw that out there real quick, and yeah, that's about it, man.
All right. Okay, John. As John and I are in the background, we're going to show you this overlay on the screen right now. We'll be going to be talking about the 2022 and 23 products as an update for you guys. Also, all right, there is a chance for three lucky winners to own a ramen toy cap. Our first merch again is courtesy of Michael Canova. Thanks a lot to Michael for the effort. There will be 3 caps to give away, and all you need to do is to put in hashtag hat, HAT, right? Hashtag hat into the comment section. The StreamYard system will pick up your comment, and it will automatically put you into the draw, which will be held at the end of this stream. So make sure you want to stay tuned with us to the end. Promise won't be too long. Trying to get it down within an hour. So yeah, go ahead and start showing me those hashtag hat. There we go. And you can make sure that you are in the hat, pun intended, for the draw at the end of this stream. All right. So
pretty sharp looking hat there, man.
Yeah. So John, so John actually reached out to me a couple of weeks ago, I think. And what we did was that we got on. Hold on. Let's see if we can do this. There we go. So we got on, have a chat, and John was very enthusiastic about what Ramen is doing, and he was offering to help promote and share our products onto his platform. So for that, I thank you, John.
No problem, guys. I'm glad I could help, and I'm glad I found you.
Yeah. So, all right. So John is just you're gonna be in the background with me as I present today's stream. And if you have anything to chime in, just go ahead and let me know. All right. Okay.
Right on. Thank you.
Is that okay, John? All right. Okay. So without further ado, let's get right into today's stream. And first of all, I'd like to mention the shipping. All right. I think the first thing that we need to address for all our customers is shipping. Now, we've been getting a lot of questions on email, comments in the Facebook page about this particular topic. and we would like to just share the insights about how we deal with shipping. Okay, so we are basically having all the products stored in our China warehouse. That's first and foremost. When it's been delivered by the factory, it goes directly to a warehouse in China, more specifically in Shenzhen. And what we do is that we will dispatch orders directly from China. And this is via some courier services that we've engaged our freight forwarding logistic company to perform. Okay. So you will have orders that is being shipped directly from China. But at the same time, there is this conundrum whereby, certain countries are not on the list in which the company that is shipping these things for us is able to accommodate. So, like anything in life, there's always going to be nothing that's foolproof and complete. There's always going to be certain things that we can't achieve or we can't do, or some limitations. So this is a limitation of the shipping that is for our direct China to overseas. So what we do to counter this problem is that we'll move a bulk of this orders down to Singapore. All right. So there's a time taken for this shipment to go from sea. You can see a picture there of the ship. It goes by sea, container freight, down to Singapore, where our good friends, partners in Ramen will actually process these orders from Singapore. So expect approximately 2 weeks processing time that we move these products from China to Singapore, and then we will start processing it and then to dispatch again by courier directly from Singapore to your destination. So this is generically what the whole shipping is about. Now, in the very rare cases that China and Singapore cannot ship to your location, then we will think of something else, which is very rare. So I wouldn't dwell too much on this stream. These will be dealt with individually by emails to our customers. All right. Now, in terms of the shipping costs, we are sending everything as best as we can via courier. So what it means by courier is that it's using companies like FedEx and DHL. Whatever courier services that the freight forwarding company engages will be the method of courier that we will use. So there is no fixed courier that we choose. It's all dependent on the time and day and week of that scenario, and then we will opt for the best option. Again, guys, we are still in a pandemic that has disrupted logistical channels and flow. And as best as these companies are handling it for us, we can only trust in their best efforts to get stuff out. So we really appreciate if customers listening in can understand and maybe convey the message to your friends who are not watching the stream right now, that that we will need a certain time to process these tracking numbers that is received when the freight forwarding companies delivers it to us. So it's not as if we are the ones that calls DHL. DHL picks it up from us and then they gives us the airway bill number. No, that's not the case. As I mentioned earlier, all our shipping is dispatched from this agent. So there will be a consolidation of tracking numbers, which we will wait for them to give to us before we can dispatch to you. So this is the flow. All right. Hope you guys understand it. This is the best I could explain the situation now. I don't think it has affected a lot of customers. I just think a few customers here and there, either our emails got caught in your spam folder, you didn't see it, so on and so forth. That is causing some kind of a misunderstanding as to why we may not be responding to you per se. But actually, we have responded for those that we should respond, and for those that we can't respond because we're waiting for the tracking numbers to be given to us, we can only respond after we get the information. All right. So, John, do you hear me just fine on this shipping issue?
Yes, I do actually, and I thought it was kind of nice of you to explain kind of behind the scenes what goes on with some of this.
Yeah, because it's not easy, and there's always the option of using China Post to make the delivery. But then again, we have discovered that some prices for China Post is almost equivalent to this courier method that we're using. And in addition, China Post, not to put them down, they're a good company, but again, due to the pandemic, China Post does not guarantee delivery in that sense. There are a few cases whereby the package is not delivered to the customer. We make an inquiry based on a tracking number in China Post. They'll give us the usual template, right? We'll look into it. We'll get back to you. And then finally, sorry, nothing can be done. The package is lost. So, it's not a good deal. So I think we have to, based on this risk, we cannot afford to take the risk, and therefore we're sending things out to our customers only by courier. Okay. But again, like I said, in the rare cases where couriers can't do it for some reason, China Post might be the final option. So again, we rule nothing out, but we have to make ourselves known to the expectations of the customers in terms of certain risk that's involved. All right. Now, speaking of shipping, Michael, was there a comment that you put up just now for me to have a look? Or is it nothing much? All right. Okay. The issue with shipping is what it is. Okay. Thanks a lot, Princeton Phalanx. Again, thank you guys for joining the stream. There's a lot of you. I think I see about 80 plus. I'm sorry I've not addressed all you by names. Again, pardon me. I'm having a bit of a struggle with my voice. So we'll get on to the stream. All right. So speaking of shipping, okay, I have to give a notice on the stream here. And of course, we'll post this again on Facebook as the date gets closer, that there'll be no shipping in Ramentor itself from September the 18th to October the 10th, because this period of time, there's incorporation of our guys having a bit of a break, right? Some personal time in the September period. And then in the October period, there's this China Golden Week, where China celebrates their National Day. It's a Golden Week holiday. So most of the time in October, the first week is blanked out. Nobody's working. So I hope that customers would empathize and, hold your emails between these dates if you are not actually getting any response from us in terms of shipping. That being said, we are still, based on what I'm hearing from my guys, we're still awaiting orders as way back as the first early bird commanders to the second 3-pack. There are customers who are not yet responding to us in terms of us approaching you with the emails on the invoice to pay. So if you guys are among the ones who have not responded, please do check your spam folder. Our emails may have actually gone into the spam folder. All right, we need to get in touch with you guys to sort it out and ship out your orders. Speaking of that also, right, the reason why, our website only has the product price for you to order, and then at a later stage when we're ready to ship, we will have to invoice you for the shipping. That's because, again, there is no set pricing on shipping. What is the price of shipping today will differ when it comes 3 months later, 5 months later. We do not know. So it could be cheaper, it could be more expensive. We have to deal with it because right now, again, shipping cost is fluctuating. We do not know. We are only giving you what is reported to us and the market rate. That's all. Okay. So we hope that you can understand that. And it might be a little bit tedious to, receive the invoice later for shipping. But at the present time, that is the best that we can figure out, unless, of course, somebody else has a better, solution. We'll be happy to hear about it. All right, guys. So that is the way it is now. We appreciate you to put in your orders in advance so that we can know who has the, who's buying, who's supporting the project, who is getting their names in a hat, and we will process it accordingly. Speaking of hat, like I said, we're giving away, let's see, we're going to put it in the screen again. We're going to be giving away this ramen toy cap, right? Courtesy of Michael Canova, who is in the background helping us with the StreamYard. And there will be a draw that's going to be held at the end of this stream. Stay tuned. All you need to do is to put in hashtag HAT into the comments, and your name's automatically played into the hat, all right, for the draw. All right. Any questions for you so far, Michael? John?
No, but I seen B10 commented about your transparency, and I think that's awesome. Your transparency and just you coming out here and giving everyone, explaining exactly what the situation is and what solutions you worked out for it, and just kind of laid out your plan for everyone to see. That is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, that's the least we can do. All right. Again, on shipping, we are shipping out Monstar. Okay. I think that the image is coming on the screen right now. The cartons of Monstar is already packed, ready to go. Again, you would have experienced now a little bit of slippage in terms of our timeline. So we had previously mentioned that I think Quicksilver was supposed to be in, I think, April, right? And then we slipped it to around July. And then right now, Monstar is in September. So not exactly August, but September. So there is some slippage now that occurred. And it's all because of the fact that we were, dealing with a very atypical situation of the Apache Commander. We actually, spend some time developing that, and that sort of is an internal thing. Right? I wouldn't want to give excuses, but we will keep slippages to a minimal. All right, nothing outrageous. So I think that if you guys feel that Monstar is within reason that we're shipping now, then let me know. We'll appreciate it. Again, thank you so much for the guys who've supported this project. Next figures to be shipped are Silverhawks, Monstar, and Quicksilver. Yeah. So exactly, some of you guys wanted the two figures to be shipped together, so we helped back on shipping one to you. So it was actually put together in a shipment. So that was the delay as well. But yeah, Monstar is going out, and as we speak, right, the Quicksilver is already in the hands of many collectors, and there are a few reviews already in the market on YouTube, on Instagram, and we really appreciate all the collectors who have put up the effort to make all these videos. Again, making videos is no easy feat. You have to film it, you have to edit it, you have to do the voiceovers and the script. So it's very much appreciated. I think this was just like 6 months ago where we only had like one review of the concept art, and then now obviously it's available for all to see that this is a real thing. All right, moving along. Okay, so let me just mute my mic as I cough a little bit. Sorry, guys. Okay, so moving along, we are in antagonist cyborg territory now. All right. So the deal with this is that there is no denying that let me just put myself back on screen. Okay, so I'm now talking about the antagonist cyborg. Post earlier on Facebook that the sales was sluggish, and it was really a surprise to us because we thought that this particular character would actually do well. At least it will fulfill the minimum quantity, because we have actually sold the commanders in about 1,000 sets. So we were expecting that this would just breeze through without any problems. That's why we actually went into tooling. And if you notice that we did not say that, okay, the antagonist cyborg is now on early bird pre-order. We will only tool once we get enough orders. which was what we mentioned at the very start of Ramen Toy when we made the first commanders. We actually gave a prototype picture, a prototype image of the commanders, and said that, guys, if you want this to be tool, you'll have to put in the early bird orders to support us. That's what we did at the beginning. So upon doing that, we felt that there was enough confidence to go ahead to tool the Antagonist Cyborg and the Land Drone, because those two characters were pretty much mentioned in the comment section that, do this, do that. And we, okay, all right, let's do it, right? We were like pretty much on the high, I think, maybe too much on the high, that we said, okay, let's no need to do any pre-orders. We just told it. I mean, look at the Land Drone. We were already showing test shots of the Land Drone on Facebook before orders went up on our website. So, the Land Drone is already tooled, not to worry. And I'd like also address, well, let's just go through the, any questions from you, John, by the way?
No, sir. I'm actually just enjoying the show and learning about you.
Okay. All right. So let me just get past the Antagonist Cyborg. Okay. So we have actually, during the duration, able to achieve our 1,000 piece order, and it ships in October. All right. So we're currently in the phase of preparing to make production, and I forgot to put up the slide that shows the concept packaging of the Cyborg, but I think it was shown on our Facebook page. We're trying to go retro style. It's going to be packaged in a way like a, what's the word? Is it a polygon, right? It's not exactly a rectangle. It's a polygon with slanted sides, exactly as the Canon originals. We're going to do that concept box going forward. Hopefully that forms another collection phase for the customers. In addition, there's been a lot of questions about, will we be doing another run of the 3-pack? So yes, we are making another run of the commanders, but not as a 3-pack. Again, as I've just mentioned, everything will be done in this vintage packaging style. So we're going to be putting the commanders individually into this vintage packaging, complete with artwork. So starting from Antagonist Cyborg to Land Drone to the 3 commanders, again, it will be packaged in such a format. All right. Now, again, like I mentioned, we don't reissue anything. This time around, we're going to retool the commander so that the shoulder pads are on a hinge. All right. It's no longer going to be a one-piece part where it bends up and it stays there, and you feel like it's going to break. So it's going to be hinged, and we fixed a bit on the side, the part of the body on the side, right? It was wrongfully chamfered off in the original, and then we're going to fix that, and then we're going to further improve the joint of the helmet with tiny magnets. So for those who were experiencing some difficulty removing the pegs, now these are going to be like really tiny magnets. Okay, so these are the improvements. Again, money goes back in, right? Money always goes back in for development to make it a better product. So you're not getting a rehash, you're not getting a repaint, so to speak. Although the easy way out would be just a repaint, right? But we want to make sure that everything we do just has that bit more effort. Okay, so that is that. We will have more information on those products in, I would say, maybe October, end of October. All right, now it's already almost mid-September, and we need to sort out some stuff and get the packaging done for Antagonist Cyborg to ship first, right, in October. And then following that, we will be looking at the Land Drone. Okay, so Land Drone currently very sluggish. We are hearing from the community that people are holding out for the cartoon version, animation version. So the reason why we did not go with the two-prong approach, right? The two-prong approach, like the antagonist, because the antagonist sideboard we actually give you a choice. You wanted this wash version or you wanted the animation version. So that actually created a unbalanced in that we have very few of the wash version and a lot of the animation colors. Okay, so if that was the case, then it would have upset our production plan for this particular land drone, because we felt that there were enough people who were on board with the original renders that we put out, that one color with the skull print and all these things, because the animation version will not have all these skull prints. All right, there'll be no skull prints on the animation. So we felt that the signals we're getting from the customers was that they wanted this rendition that we did. That was nice. It was good. So we went ahead to just release the land drone as it is without an option of animation colors. So that was the decision behind the whole thing. Now, we are kind of a way off, like I think like 300 plus 400 orders from the 1,000. But what we'll do is that we will just bite the bullet and make the production anyway. All right. And we will just keep stock of the rest, and then hopefully it will sell out as and when customers get the product in hand, and then reviewers will tell you that it is good enough to buy, and then hopefully you can place an order. All right, it's going to ship in December in 2022. And what we're going to do is that we're going to be putting out a few of these completed land drone pre-production samples and put it into the hands of reviewers. And once reviewers get their hands on the antagonist sideboard and combine it with the land drone, hopefully the reviews would get more customers in to place an order, as has happened with the Silverhawk Quicksilver, right? Upon the many YouTube videos and Instagram posts, we have been getting lots of customer comments and questions about where to buy. Do you still have it? Stuff like that. So, which unfortunately was sold out, by the way. Okay. Now, questions so far, John?
I think the land drone looks pretty good. I think that's pretty awesome. You're going to go ahead and produce it, even though the sales are short, because I do think eventually you guys will be able to 2-pack them, or they will sell. Yeah. But no, I'm still just listening in, man.
Okay, great. Thanks, Jason, for the comment there. Okay, so now we go into the smaller elephant in the room. All right. So the small elephant in the room would be the Apache Commander. Okay. So this thing came about because we had many comments when we were doing the commanders to do John Thunder. And then, we had also many comments about, can you just do it in the original size? We don't want 6-inch. Okay. So I was thinking, okay, maybe we can do this, right? Maybe we have two crowds, right? Some people like burgers, some people like pizzas, right? So let's just do burgers and pizzas, right? But in the end of the day, when we put this out for order, it fell really, really short of the anticipated numbers. So we couldn't go ahead. There's no way we're going to tool something beyond $60,000 plus the production cost, and then come up to only sell like 20%, leaving 80% stock waiting to sell. That's just not the way. I don't think even Apple does that. I don't know. So anyway, with that in mind, we cannot go ahead to tool the Apache Commander. But having said that, there are a few customers who are really, really interested to get their hands on one, and we came up with the idea, hey, how about just making it as if it's like a prototype? Okay, so by doing that, it's a short run. It's almost like customized makers out there in the community who is doing customization work, doing 3D prints, doing one-offs, 2-offs, 3-offs to selected. Hey, Patrick, welcome to the stream. I'll talk to you in a little bit. So by the way, Patrick is having a Seekers project. I've actually pinned the link of that Seeker project in the comment section. You guys can help to share this project. Patrick is looking to raise funds to making the Seekers a reality. So he has started two programs. One is the Indiegogo and one is the Kickstarter. So both are, yes, thank you so much, Michael, in the links in the comments, all pinned up there. All right, so go ahead and support Patrick, and then we'll be able to make that Seekers manufacturing for Patrick. All right, so back to the Apache Commander. Yes, it's the last of the Seekers. All right, so back to the Apache Commander. Right, so there are people doing the one-offs, two-offs, as I'm mentioning. Then we thought, okay, we can do it for these people, but we're not doing it as a 3D print. Okay, we're doing it as a recast. Now, what does a recast mean? For those of you who are familiar, if you go to things like Wonder Festival, you go to things like garage kits, even high-end scale model cars, even statues, right? Unpainted statues, they are called recasts. Okay. I think even if you look at American brands like Horizon models, I think some of the I could be wrong, like Revell or stuff like that do statues. So people actually recast those statues by copying the master. So that's exactly what recast is all about. We have a master. The Apache Commander is a master, and this master happened to be in BotCon at the end of August. We actually moved this prototype that we rarely do. We rarely move a prototype out, but in the effort of trying to get the Apache Commander more exposure, it was actually couriered out to the USA for BotCon. For those of you who attended BotCon, you would have seen the actual Apache Commander. All right, and the whole idea was to get it more exposure. Hopefully, we can get more orders, not for the mass production because we know that's already dead in the water, but hopefully get more people interested in the recast. Now, recasting it is a different ball game, and hence, we're not able to get it at a price of, I think it was 160 or 180 for the actual injection molded version. So the recasted version is actually much more expensive at 260. So some will be like saying, what the hell, right? You can't, you're supposed to sell it for 180, but now you're trying to sell it for 260. Well, it's because, it's a recast. It's the method of doing this thing is different from the method of doing an injection, where we invest the bulk of the funds into a set of tools, not just one tool, a set of tools, right? And then we do the production, and based on the tooling, each unit that comes out has a smaller production cost. However, in a recast situation, you don't pay for the tooling, but you pay for the materials and the labor to make the recast. And that's where the cost comes in. And we're only making 100 pieces. Okay. So that brings me to deviate to another point where we hear many times that our prices are just too expensive. I will address this very simply, is because we don't have the numbers to bring about scalability. All right. Scale means that if we can do a Hasbro, a Mattel, where you flood Walmarts across the USA with figures currently at 30%, at 70% discount, then you can afford to make figures at $15, $20. All right. You just need to do some looking at the situation before you, some critical thinking, and you'll find out the answers. Why is the classifieds G.I. Joe not at 70% discount? Because obviously there's less production of those things. Why is the classified figures more expensive than the Mattel Masters of the Universe? Again, because of the scale, right? So same thing for us, we cannot afford to price our figures at $50, $30 because of the scale. We are not able to make tens of thousands of figures. It's a very unique boutique tailor-made project, so that explains the price. So when people say that, for the price that you're paying, this should not happen, that should not happen. No, it's not for that price you're paying. It's the price is set due to the numbers being small. And that's what it is. Okay. It doesn't matter the price. We are controlled by this limited quantity. So the price does not equal to high quality. The price is equivalent to the small scale of production. Although, of course, we do our best to ensure quality. So speaking of that, again, sidetracking, the issue with the Quicksilver parts not glued properly. Again, it is a mishap with the factory where they applied too little glue, right? Again, we don't recommend that they smudge the whole figure with glue. We do our best to apply little glue. Apparently, this time around, it was a little bit too little. So those parts fell off. And as many reviewers have done the reviews who have encountered this problem, which is not a lot, all they needed to do was to use some super glue, glue it back on, and that's it. Case closed. It's as if you helped us to produce the part that was slightly unglued by the factory. Anyway, again, we apologize for this inconvenience. All right, we have addressed it on our Facebook page. And even for customers who have reached out to us personally, we have done videos to show you what actually transpired. So that's what it is. Okay. Of course, we will take note of this issue, and then going forward, what needs to be glued has to be glued properly, and then we will do some tests to ensure that it is adhered properly. Questions so far?
I do have an odd question.
Okay,
what gave you an idea to use magnets?
Well, magnets is actually nothing that is outrageously mind-blowing. It's a simple contraption that has been used throughout our many years, right? We have even Apple doing the MagSafe charging port. That's magnets. We have, I can't really think of too much now, but we have tons of it. So using a magnet would be a seamless way instead of a pack. Once you have a pack, then you're talking about, again, tolerance, whether you're putting it in, is it too tight? Is it too loose? Again, there's a tolerance involved. Why? Because the part that is injected might have to be spray painted. Once it's spray painted, believe it or not, it creates a thickness that might impede you from pegging that pack into the hole, right? So most of the time, if you look at what's being done by the Mattels and the Hasbros, anything that's pegged has no paint on it. Go check it out. Anything that's pegged has no paint on it. It's injected plastic. That way they can control a tolerance to put it in as a snug fit. But for me, I don't like to have pegs sticking out when they shouldn't be sticking out. So we thought about magnets instead. Yeah.
I thought it was an ingenious idea, and
nothing too ingenious.
Diaclone and other lines have incorporated it for years, but everyone else just seems to ignore it. And I thought it was awesome to see in some of your products.
All right. So we got a question here from a Road Pick John about Silverhawks. I think we've put a post up on our Facebook to address this. So you guys can go ahead to our Facebook, scroll down to the section where we address this issue. And from there, you'll see all the explanation. All right. We will not dwell on that on this stream. We'll go ahead and push on. Time is of the essence. It's currently like 44 minutes in. There's still 94 of you. Again, there is a cap giveaway at the end of this stream. Okay, this cap courtesy of Michael Canova. 3 caps. All right. Key in hashtag HAT, H-A-T, in the comment section to automatically put your name in the running for a lucky draw at the end of this stream, which will be held live. Okay. So moving along, we're currently waiting for the Apache Commander to be shipped back to us from BotCon. Once we have the prototype in hand, which is also the master, we will then be able to comment on the recasting. That is the master. Okay. And with that in mind, the estimated shipping would be first quarter of next year. Okay. Let me just mute the mic as I cough a little bit. Yeah, guys, so I'm actually recovering from a cold. So yeah, hence the stream was actually pushed forward 24 hours. Anyway, so back to the Apache. For those who are eagerly awaiting it, please await a little bit more as we await the return of the master, and then we can start work. And again, we'll keep you guys updated on Facebook as to the progress of this particular very limited production figure. And with that said, okay, we are no longer going to be touching the retro series. We're not going to be doing any more commanders in that size, because clearly it's not something that is too wanted, lack of a better word. Okay, but we push on, right? We push on, and as I mentioned, we're shipping Land Drone in December, and then after that, okay, we will offer the animated colors. Okay, but it will be as a 3-pack. It's as a 3-pack, including the red one in the center. So I'm announcing it on this stream. Might be too early, but we it might be silly that we are announcing this so that it actually impedes the sale of the Land Drone itself. But it is what it is. I mean, we don't want people to give the wrong comments that, okay, you should have told me you're doing the animation, then I wouldn't buy the Land Drone, right? But again, we do our best. We do our best to sell what we have, and most of the time, companies do that. I think there shouldn't be anything wrong that we try our best to sell what we've produced, and then hold out before putting more money into another production, right? But we are planning the animation colors, which we had sort of sneak peek to you guys during some coloration session, but we have never actually shown in true form the animation colors, which we actually tweaked from the initial first review. So again, there will be a plan for the 3-pack version of the Land Drone in animation colors with a center red Land Drone. Hopefully that would inspire you to collect it, especially with the Antagonist sideboard in front. That should make a nice display. And speaking of that, if I can sidetrack a little bit more, the other red version of the sideboard, we will actually hold off until we are convinced, or until we are, we have some time to digest, and maybe we'll work on it a bit later on, but not as immediate as I wanted it to be. Okay. Questions, John? Anything for you to add on?
No, sir. Still just listening. I think the red one's great, though.
Okay, great. All right, so we've covered all those things, and a little bit about the Apache Commander. Actually, I have the sample right here. So I was speaking earlier, right? All the commanders going forward will be packaged in this retro style thing. Okay, we will not be copying it one for one, but it will look similar, so that you can have the commanders, in this format. Okay, and speaking of that, so the reason why we're holding off to do pre-orders on this is not to tax ourselves, number one, and not to tax collectors as well, because to do this is not simply just rehashing the tooling. We have to tool the arrow part, so that's another set of tools. And based on current feel, like trying to feel the market as you're dealing with Bitcoins and stocks, you feel that this guy currently is not the best bet to go. Okay, so we're going to hold off a little bit. Maybe he will come on together with another character in the future. All right, but in the meantime, we'll just hold off. And as and when the team feels that it's good enough to put it up for pre-orders, we'll be doing it. But again, this time around, this pre-orders, we'll have to handle it in the same manner as the other Apache, which is if and only if we get a sizable amount of orders, do we go ahead to tool the arrow. Otherwise, we won't be doing it, because it's currently too much resources being put into these projects. Again, if I may reference Apple, I think Steve Jobs the late Steve Jobs came back to Apple and then sort of got rid of all the bad projects, right? And then he focused on just a few, right? So this could be one of those bad projects which we just get rid of and focus, because there's so much which we'll talk about later, right? Like for Machina, there's so much funds to go into and effort to go into making it. I mean, we spent so much time on making the Apache Rolling Thunder, making it rotate. It started from, a handheld mechanism where with friction, we thought that all the vintage Centurions did not have any battery operated function. So to keep true to that, we did not incorporate any batteries. We thought that everything would be done by manual friction. And then we figured it kind of worked, because if I'm going to be doing this and the figures on top, it's going to impede my hands, right? So we had no choice but to make it into a motorized version. I think that would have been one consideration by the original Canon team, because how would you put a figure onto a turret and make it move as the figure spins, as it moves forward with you pushing it? It's going to, just imagine, it's going to impede, the figure's going to impede your hands, right? You're not going to get very far. So the only way is to do it motorized. So we went through a lot of back and forth, a lot of monies poured in for the tooling, for the prototyping, because a prototype is done, there's money paid out. If you want to change it, you got to pay another set of money. It's not like, okay, I pay $10 and then you can do it as to my pleasing. No, once they deliver what it was to be delivered, that means that the job is done, right? So we are also kind of saddened that we also went to draw the whole Apache Commander from scratch. That whole look, everything's from scratch. Nothing is rehashed, right? All brand new, and it's definitely a bit of a sadness to not be able to make it into production. But it is what it is in this life, right? So moving along, right? Let's not dwell too much on that. We're moving along with more exciting sculpts. Okay, would be the Marshall. Okay, now we're moving on to new products. Okay, before we get to another elephant in the house in the room, of course, Machina. We'll talk about that in the end of the stream. But yeah, again, look at the Marshall here with his cap, and caps are what we're going to be giving away later on at the end of the stream. Just need to key in #hat into the comment section, and you'll stand a chance to win one of 3 of these white and red ramen toy caps, courtesy of Michael Canova, who's helping us today in the StreamYard back end. All right, so the Marshall, we first teased this picture on our Facebook page a while ago, and I'd like to credit our sculptor, right? The Canadian Luke Wakeford is the mastermind, the talent behind the sculpt of the Marshall. So in case you guys are already questioning, are we going to be getting the other figure? Yes, we are working effortlessly on 3-0, which is his companion horse. So the Marshall will be the next item that we're going to be put up for pre-orders based on a prototype. We really hope that we have chosen our horses right this time, no pun intended, and that once this goes up for pre-order, we will be getting the numbers required to make this into a reality. So as you can see there, sculpt is done. We need to incorporate the app crunch. We'll do everything. We will basically learn from what we've done so far and then keep improving the figure, right? Again, the reason why we had abstain from certain points of movement was to prevent the deformation of the character itself. So as best as we can, based on the sculpt, we will do it. So now, yeah. So as I was saying, the Marshall here, he'll feature this visor. It won't be a separate head. It will be probably a standalone piece. We'll figure it out in time when we actually get this in the prototype form. Again, 1/12 scale. Another look at a few more angles of the Marshall. Ponytail will be articulated. right? A small little piece that goes into the back of the head will exercise more upward looking motion for the head. Okay. How many points of articulation? Well, I would say off the top of my head, 24 and above. Okay, there'll be a separate blaster that hooks into his holster. There's a tomahawk that hooks into the holster over there, and obviously there's going to be a jacket that he dons on, as you can see there on the left of the picture, right? There's a transparent star shield on the right that mimics the power shield. All right, hence it's transparent yellow. And then once this is done, hopefully we can show the prototype by Christmas, and 3.0 would be following along. So that is the first of the new sculpts that we will be looking at. Hey, Mike from Titanium Hanger. Thank you so much for joining. Let me just cough again. Sorry about that, guys. I'm still recovering from a bit of a cold. So thanks for joining the stream, Mike. We are currently talking about marshals, and if you just join in, remember, if you can put in #hat into the comment section, your name will be automatically thrown into the hat for a lucky draw at the end of this stream, where there'll be 3 lucky winners who'll be winning this Ramen Toy cap, courtesy of Michael Canova, who is actually helping us in the back studio here in the live stream. Okay, so the Marshal is the first of 2 or 3 new sculpts for next year. Okay, the second one that we've actually teased would be the Maverick. All right, we have gotten some early sneak peek of the figure premiering on this live stream for the first time. All right, there you have the Maverick, and again, this is just an output, a 3D print of the output for us to look at what the figure is going to look like, and then from here we will dissect the figure and put in the joints. Okay, because we need to see exactly what parts we'll be chopping off is clear from here versus on the 3D, and then we can do our best to make sure that he has all the things that needs to articulate the ab crunch and all these things, elbow twists based on the clothing, and then the helmet obviously goes on. We are trying to figure out the removable sunglasses. We're trying to figure out if we can actually make the helmet visor workable, meaning that you can strap it down and strap it up. That would be awesome. But if we cannot do that based on tolerance of the helmet, there's a consideration that the helmet might be just a little bit too thin, okay, for us to get it done. But otherwise, we are working on making the helmet workable, including, of course, the oxygen mask, right? Oxygen mask that can be fixed onto the helmet and also fixed halfway to the right or to the left, maybe just one side, right? And then the oxygen hose that will probably have a wire inside for the hose to be twirled up neatly. Okay, I don't think we'll be dwelling into a 1/12 scale F-14. That would be too much of an endeavor. But there's so much for the Maverick. We'll have more information once we are able to show the articulation on this prototype. All right, coming next year. And of course, we just teased on the Phantom. Okay, so we're currently working on this weapon system as promised. 1 year on from the advent of the Commanders, we promised that we'll be working on the weapon systems. So one weapon system that we've already teased, the Strato Strike for the original, will now be scaled down to fit 1/12 scale. Okay, we're currently working on that. Antra Jones, thank you for the comment. So we're working on that. So we are showing this is because we have already shown the other weapon system for the Air Force commander. So once that particular piece is tuned down and rejigged aesthetically to fit the 112, then we will be able to show that. In the meantime, we're showing the feel of what we're doing for the naval commander. Again, we'll be adding a bit of our design flair into the design. We won't be doing something that's exactly like the animation. We'll introduce something that maybe makes a bit more sense. All right, so hence we are rejigging the design. So another one that will come up for the armor commander is also being worked on as well, but that will take a little bit of time because we are again currently on a schedule, and then some things need to wait for the other in queue. Yes, Chris Warhammer, that was exactly what I just mentioned. Okay, Loki United, hear you loud and clear. So those are products for next year, right? The Marshall, the Maverick, and the Phantom. All right, those are products for next year. But what's in it for this year? There's still the last quarter of this year, guys. Last quarter of this year, and we just put out images of the Red Gull Wing. But before that, let me just talk about the most powerful stand in the universe. Okay, so here we go. This is the most powerful stand in the universe, and dimensions are over there. As you can see on screen, it's like 15. Actually, we actually rejigged it a little bit, slightly more than 15 cm wide, because we need to incorporate the edges to fit the cart. But there you go, guys. This stand is going to be available by December. Okay, it's going to be up for pre-orders on the 15th of September on our website. At the same time, we hope that BBTS will be able to put up this on offer on their website as well. So look out for that announcement on pre-orders on BBTS as well as on our website. So I've already shared this pictorial on Facebook that it fits the Origins figure. And what you do is that you have a cart. The cart of your Origins figure, you can, use a X-Acto knife to remove the blister nicely from the back, from the cart. And then, you can discard the blister and then you can keep the cart. Because the cart is the magic. The cart is the artwork. The cart has a back that shows you the other characters in the line. The cart is what you want to keep. So you can slot this cart back into the stand, and then it sort of mimics your original cart with the effects 3D, a stand. There'll be a leg pack on the left of the stand for the figure. And as you can see there, we have a Masterverse that sort of gives you the scale of how that would look like on the stand. Okay. Again, here, another image of the stand, which I've already shared. But this one is a brand new image that we've just gotten from the factory, a mock-up of the actual paint. So this is exactly what the real thing looks like. Previously it was a render, right? But now you're seeing it in the flesh. This is the first draft of the stand. Okay, a real thing that you hold your hands. And furthermore, we're able to interlock each stand side by side with a tab at the bottom that will hold the stand in place so that it doesn't move around. Okay, so each stand will come with one tab, and as you connect them, you connect it like that, like a tile format. Okay, and what's more is that this stand will be shipped in the most ergonomical way. The base of the stand actually collapses into the back of the stand, right? The backing, it collapses in, thus reducing shipping and volumetric weight. Okay, it's going to be a nice flat little piece for you to save on shipping costs. Available in three colors, of course. You got your green, the vintage red, and violet. Okay, no need for me to explain what these colors are meant for. Motu fans will know exactly what they are. It is shipping again by December. Hopefully, we can make it to you before Christmas. We're working on this as soon as we can to give you more images of the prototypes. All right. So yeah, so stay tuned, and then look forward to the 15th of September for you to place your orders for this one. Okay. Again, if I mentioned the price is $10.90 each. All right. We will likely be selling this in a set of 6, thus, making sense of the shipping for customers on our website, so they're actually buying 6 at the same time, and thus reducing your shipping costs. Any questions so far from John, who's still in the house? John?
This is the universe. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello? Okay.
Yes, we can hear you.
Sorry.
You want to say something? I think we lost you again. All right. As we wait for John to reconnect. So, Michael, are we getting some comment? There's lots of comments. Is there any important ones that I can just pause for a while for some Q&A before we go on to our last segment, which is talk about the elephant in the room, the red gull-wing? All right, I was just getting a sip of water. So we're just, will the weapon set be sold as standalone? Yes, we are actually planning to sell the weapon sets by itself. That is the key. Okay. So we just hit the hour mark, 7 minutes past that. We're doing good in terms of time. Again, guys, if you have just joined the stream, really appreciate you tuning in. There is a 3 caps to be won at the end of this stream, which will happen really soon. All you need to do is put in the hashtag HAT, H-A-T, into the comment section. Your name will automatically be gone into the draw. And at the end of this stream, we'll actually pick out 3 lucky winners. All right. So, so we had this image up about a month ago, asking for you to show support and to put in the orders. Now, there were some people who were saying that we can't just buy on the render. But the fact of the matter is that we've actually showed this development of the red gull-wing throughout. We didn't just put up a render and say, hey, let's put some money down, right? We showed the development. We teased the project. We showed you the mechanism. We showed you the shapes. We showed you the 3D. We explained about how we're tweaking some stuff. And then we came up with a render. And this render actually is derived from the actual 3D, right? It's not something that was just drawn up from nowhere. This render was just a colored version of the actual 3D. So true enough, right, when we finally did the colored prototype, I think it doesn't look too much off from the render, isn't it? Right? That's what we aim to do. We always do our best to give customers exactly what they are going to be buying. Otherwise, we wouldn't dare to put up any pre-orders, right? We will not put up a pre-order of something that looks totally different from what you're getting in the final product, right? So pretty happy with the overall look of this. Again, guys, this is a prototype. We did not invest a ton of money for the perfect prototype. How do I mean by that? Okay, when you have a prototype made, you can either do it the expensive way, or you can do it the slightly more economical way. So this is the more economical way, whereby the prototype is not done the expensive way. That's all I can say, right? If we have invested the money into the expensive way, we'll be getting a darn beautiful prototype. But is there a point in that? The whole idea of a prototype is for us to ensure that it's all good in terms of the sizing. The figure goes in, the figure is able to do this and that, right? And everything's all good. If there's anything missing that we need to adjust, we can see on the prototype, a physical piece, which often you can miss out on a 3D model. On a 3D model, you just spin it around on your screen, you may miss certain parts, or certain parts may not fit. How do you know that the figure is going to fit in with a seat belt like that on the 3D? Maybe some people can figure it out, but not for me. I'm an old school guy that needs to have it in my hands, a sample to really figure it out. So what we did is that, we have ironed out some issues with the prototype, and these issues are going to be corrected on the 3D. So now by doing the corrections on 3D, I'm assured, because I'm no longer bounded by 3D to figure out what's going on. I'm now giving instructions to the 3D of what needs to be adjusted based on what I want on the actual thing. So the final adjustments on 3D will be happening, and then we'll be proceeding without further ado to the tooling. All right. So as you guys saw the images, right? And I've explained before that once we have the final product, I will do another pictorial to put the prototype next to the final product, and you'll see the difference, right? Some people say that, the prototype looks the best, and then the production is always lesser. No, that's not the case, right? It might be the case for statues, right? Because statues are painted by the lead artist, and then the rest of the statues are duplicates by the factory. So there is a case for you to say that the statue prototype will look the best, but not in this case for a production like this, right? For production like this, the final product is going to look definitely better than the prototype. Hold on. So Jason, this is a finished product. There's no need for you to apply anything. All right, that's the whole reason. Some of you might want to apply something yourself, but I believe in putting out a very complete product as possible, so that you get everything as out of the box. Okay, so another view there on the was it any hints of future? Not yet, Neil. Hold your horses. We're just developing this. All right. So welcome back, John. All right. So we have all these images can be found on our Facebook page. All right. And then I think the money shot. Well, I think everyone is a money shot. You have an image there that shows Matt Hawking able to pose in that way. All right. And then, so there's some questions that's being asked about whether will the doors sag. Obviously, that's not going to be happening. All right, we're going to put measures in place that the doors will remain as rigid as possible throughout. Well, again, depending on how you actually handle the product, you might wear off the enforcements that we have in place for the doors not to sag. But under normal handling, the doors are not going to sag in this position. All right, so I hope that answers it. And as you can see there, as the tail gets transformed, you got a nice Makina logo at the back there. You got some nice engine nozzle details. All right, and not to be discounted is Mr. Brian Gee, who is a part of this project. Right, he's going to be making this mini comic for us that will be included in the Red Gullwing. Okay, so these are just some preview of the first 2 pages of this mini comic that is going to be coming up. So thanks a lot, Brian, for your input. We really appreciate it, along with all the guys who are going to be credited in the video that's coming up, that is going to be done by Michael Canova, who is actually helping us out in the back end today. Credits will roll on this project, and then you'll see the people involved for this project. Shout outs to Gary G, for the incredible artwork that helps us to put Red Gullwing on this Facebook. All right, guys. With that, we've actually reached the end of the stream. I'm going to add Michael back on. Wrong. I'm going to add John back onto the stream, and hear John if there's any thoughts about the stream so far. John, are you there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you just fine.
Okay, I've been having all kind of mic issues. The comic's very nice, but I have a couple odd questions. Have you guys have you teased what vehicles you might approach next on the Mass series?
No, we have not.
Okay, now I understand the resin the resin process, the mold injecting, and things like that. Things on this scale, Bunker Hill will probably never see a remake unless it's quite costly, will it?
Oh, it is costly. Yeah.
Bunker Hill would probably have to sell for probably 1,500 or better to ever be remade. Is my
See, the
just a
main
quick
thing
guess.
about making, sorry to cut you off there. The main thing about making the hill is the size of it. It's got to be in scale, right? You can't make it too small. It's got to be in scale, and then just imagine how big the tooling is going to
Yeah.
be to inject out that one part of the hill. So
It's not
the
like
bulk of the cost, just like how we are actually contemplating how we're going to solve the issue of the one scale helmet that we've teased on Facebook. That's not mentioned here in this stream, is because we are still sorting out the cost. It's an astronomical cost.
yeah, I
that
believe
we've
it.
done the initial research. Yeah.
We were talking about it over on my page, and just you explaining the process of like how you're doing the John Thunder, the limited run of it. That
Yep.
just explaining what goes into this and how much companies spend. That helps a lot, and it helps people understand why some of this is more expensive than what they think it should be. This stuff it takes a lot of money to make some of the stuff that we collect, and it costs of shipping, cost production, cost prototyping. I get it, and
Yeah.
I'm really glad you explained these processes to some of my viewers.
Yeah. I've had experiences in manufacturing since 2007, and again, I want to just share a point for companies like Hasbro who still requires crowdfunding. That tells a lot.
Right. Unicron did
Right.
not
So,
just get produced. We had to crowdfund that. So it really takes the collectors to make it happen. I appreciate you having me on here, and sorry I've had mic problems. Your show's been great, and I've learned a lot.
thank you. That's the whole idea, right? To share. This stream is not just about showing products; it's about telling everything that we know, so that everybody is in a clear. Questions can be asked, so that we all, as a community, is able to function, right? With this whole internet thing, that allows us, the magic of the internet allows us. Otherwise, we wouldn't hear from each other. Would be like, I have a product, you see it on the mailer somewhere, and okay, what is this? Right? So this whole stream thing, this live stream, this interaction, social media, have its pros and cons, right? But let's look at the pros and then less of the cons. Yeah.
I look forward to a lot of your products, man. I think you guys are going to be a great company with the amount of transparency you add, and just you doing these type of updates for your community. And the following you have is amazing. I see a lot of people here.
Oh yeah, thank you very much. So thanks to all those people joining in. 91 people here. That's very good. Thank you so much. All right. So Michael, is there any questions from the comment section that we should address? Otherwise, we'll go to the draw of the hat. Will the figures be released on cardback? Yes, we are looking into it. Obviously, if we want to release figures, we shouldn't be just releasing 2 figures. We should be releasing a range of figures, so those will only come in time. That's all I can say. And I might just want to throw in a little bit about how, I think I mentioned this in much earlier streams, is that the whole Machina could have not happened simply because we couldn't rehash a different color. Simply because once the red gull wing is made, it's just going to be a red gull wing. So with that consideration in mind, the tooling cannot be amortized. So therefore, the red gull wing was a project that we never really contemplated to approach because of the quite stark realization that you're not going to be churning out repaints after repaints. See, so it's a bit of a boondoggle project, so to speak. And even when we first release images, people are asking, why do we need this when I already have the vintage? But the fact of the matter is that, I envision it in a certain way, and that, again, credit to the original toy. I had the original toy myself. There are certain aspects of it that I thought should be updated for a 2022 version for the collectors who have not had any chance to look at this classic item for what, 30 over years. Yeah. Any comments there, John?
No, I'm excited you've approached that line, and the Makina's gotten a lot of interest over there, and even with me, I grew up with all those toys. They were awesome. I'm glad to see someone redo them.
All right, and then I got to also address a few section of people who say that let's hope that Hasbro sends them a cease and desist, shut them down. I mean, as and when Hasbro sends us a C&D, we will handle it accordingly. That's all I can say. All right. So Neil Hill talks about the Great White. Yeah, we have actually gone back to the drawing board to make the Great White great, because there are certain transformation aspects of it that wasn't quite right, and we had actually got to redraw it. So I hope that we can show you a updated prototype sometime in, I would say, end of October, maybe. Yeah. So we've actually gone through once, twice, 3 times, of this development of the Great White. Yeah. Weapon systems. As and when we finish the prototyping, we will put it up for pre-order. So I would say the first weapon system could be sometime in December. All right. So without further ado, Michael is reaching 1 hour 20 minutes into the stream. Can we do the draw? Michael, would you like to say a few words? All right.
Let's see.
Oh, I'm seeing my double. So Michael there is okay.
Luck, guys.
There we go. All right, so there we go, guys. This is a StreamYard lucky draw system. So first, is that the first? Going to be the first cap? Oh, congratulations to Froy Levin. Is that right? Frolin Levin. Could you pronounce that, Michael?
I think you're right, man. Freund Levin. Yeah, so reach out
maybe
to us.
You want to screen cap that first? You want to screen
I did.
cap that? All right, and then please email us at sales@ramentoy.com, and we'll be in touch with you on how to claim your prize. All right, so if I can just put in the comment sections there, the email sales@ramentoy.com. Please email us the winners. Oh, Gus 40, congratulations, number 2, cap number 2. So Gus 40, please do email us with your details, and we'll be in touch with you on how to claim your prize. Of course, there'll be no cost. Everything will be shipped to you absolutely free. Okay. And the last one. We're down to the last cap. And the winner is Rick Gio. Congratulations, Rick Gio. Again, email us at sales@ramentoy.com, and we'll be in touch with you on how to claim your prize. All right. So with that, we've concluded the stream for today. We have 3 lucky winners of the cap. We had a chance to have John of TF Prototype on the stream with us. Really appreciate your time, John.
Thank you
and
guys for
if
having
there
me.
are, yeah. So any last words, Johns, for the audience? Please go ahead.
No, guys. Sorry, I was a bit rattled getting on here. I've had a lot of technical issues. I need to give shout outs to Agabus.com because they're my sponsor, and I probably wouldn't be back this year without them or some of the other companies I work with. So big shout out, and thank you, Ace, for having me on, because you do some wonderful stuff here.
Thank you very much, John. All right. So Michael, is there any other last comments that we should address before we pull the plug on the stream? let me know. All right, if there's, I'll give you like 5 seconds. If there's nothing else coming up on the screen, then we will be preparing to shut this down. So again, guys, thank you so much for the time today. Thank you for spending the last 1 hour and almost 30 minutes with me. Again, I apologize for my voice. I'm recovering from a cold. Been coughing badly. I'm just glad I made it through the stream. And I hope that today's presentation is useful in terms of learning more about what we've done, what we're doing, and where we're going. And of course, we are thankful for your support. Get the word out there. You know, the more we can sell, the more we can develop. It's as simple as that. So thank you so much again for joining. Until the next time, guys, do check us out on Facebook. For those of you who don't have Facebook, YouTube, subscribe to my channel, to the channel, right? Click on the like button, share this video, and share Ramen Toy out to your friends, families, collectors. All right. Have a good one, guys. Take care. I'll see you guys really soon. Bye-bye.